So I had absolutely no expectations going into Enshrouded, as I somehow completely missed its existence until it launched into early access. 30 hours later, I'm glad I jumped both feet first because the atmosphere of this game is phenomenal. I don't need realistic graphics to enjoy a game. Things like Valheim, V Rising, and Lethal Company show once again that stylistic choices can easily overcome fidelity. The bittersweet peace of the Springlands is a gentle welcome to this fantasy post-apocalypse, emerging from purifying flames to look out over a vast, beautiful landscape, swathed in choking lakes of deadly fog and the ruins of those who came before you. The first real step into the Shroud brings with it a musical shift, a low drone that conveys a feeling of both mourning and spite. Grief for the pain and rot visited on those who exploited a powerful resource to the point of war, a feeling the player is meant to take from seeing this devastation, and a malicious, hungering spite to drag anything, anyone, everything into the same miserable shadow, a feeling the Shroud itself does its best to impress upon you every time you dare enter it. If I could describe the Shroud in one word, it would be suffocating. Early on, I was playing with a friend, and amidst fighting and resource gathering, we lost track of our timers. Realizing how little was left, we ran in a direction we thought was safe. We read the map wrong. It was a dead end, a cliff. Sunlight makes the Shroud hazy, difficult to see through. We tried to run again, but it was already too late. There wasn't enough time. When the last seconds begin to drain, and you're still in the depths of the Shroud, struggling to find your way out before it consumes you, it can feel like you're on the bottom of the ocean, frantically searching for air. This oppressive atmosphere only grows heavier the further you get. The fog banks deepen, the mycelium stretches into increasingly alien proportions, and the dangers increase until you stand in the middle of the umbral hollow and feel like you're on another planet, one that has never seen the faint twinkle of distant stars, let alone the blinding warmth of the sun. The sheer relief felt upon stepping into open space of seeing normal trees break through the haze of indistinct shapes is something I haven't experienced before in a game like this. I've played The Forest, Raft, Valheim, Subnautica, The Long Dark, Conan Exiles, and while each of them have their strengths, only Subnautica has succeeded in matching the level of oppressive weight an environment can exert on the player. Though that might have something to do with my Thalassaphobia. Hi, Editing Morgan here, and I do wish to point out that while I am very uncomfortable with deep water and the ocean, I do love sharks. It's free dog, but I don't want to be in the water. The point is that the eponymous Shroud feels heavy, like the unholy carcass of some half-living monstrosity stretching out across the landscape, greedily smothering and consuming everything it touches. The powerful elixir that brought it into being lures people into its parasitic embrace, a hollow, sucking darkness calling out to the wounds that leave people feeling empty and alone. But it cannot fill that emptiness when it has nothing. It can only take, and take, and take, until you are nothing but another horror of the depths, a lumbering monster of twisted limbs and grasping hands, still searching for something, anything, that will fill the void within. I don't want to completely spoil lore or quest lines. It's one of my favourite parts of this game, as books and letters give us insights into what was going on before for all the people who had to live through the Shroud's emergence. But following the trail of Ikora to its conclusion has been sitting with me for days now. And if there's one thing I'd like the game to do going forward, it's linger on the stories you find. When you return to your base and tell the craftsfolk what happened, I want them to react to it more, discuss it. In some cases they do, and I appreciate the little interactions they have with each other through quests, but there wasn't a reaction to Ikora, and that seemed rather sad for a character who ultimately just wanted to feel connected. At time of writing, I've only just reached the Kindle Wastes, and I'm excited to see how the game develops going forward. It's absolutely nailed its atmosphere and musical shifts between each environment. I'm especially looking forward to exploring the snow biome, as I briefly got to listen to the music that plays there when I found a spot I could stand without the game yelling at me to turn back now. I readily admit to having a bias for snowy areas. There's something peaceful about the silence of snowfall, not to mention the pristine, almost magical beauty of the landscape afterwards, frozen into near perfect stillness for just a moment in time before life goes on. I highly doubt that the snowy areas in Enshrouded will be that picturesque. There has to be danger to overcome, and there's still the Shroud, for which I am very interested in seeing how it adapts to such a harsh environment. Personally, I'm expecting polar bears overgrown with deadly lichen to slapbox my character out of existence. Hello! I'm trying something new here where I share my thoughts in a more bite-sized piece as opposed to the 30 to 40 minute videos, and Enshrouded felt like a good candidate for that because this game took me by complete surprise. It's burrowed in my brain at this point, as you can probably guess from the purple prose used when talking about the Shroud itself. I don't usually take a leap like this on games I know almost nothing about. I tend to hang back and wait to see if the games industry does something stupid or predatory like loot boxes, but I saw people I trust, the opinion of, posting about it and streaming it, so I took a risk. Touch wood. This game develops in a positive direction. The team has already launched with an impressively solid foundation, so I'm excited to see where it goes. With that said, thank you for watching, and special shout out to my supporters on Patreon who are all very handsome people. If you'd also like to be called a very handsome people, check out the link in the description where you can support what I do for just £1 a month. I also stream on Twitch every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 PM GMT.
Where are
the hose?
Yes. We'll walk into like the gardening department at Home Depot. Hey, where are the hose?
Why are the hose is a different question.
Why? Ah yes, the philosopher's question. Why are the hose?
Don't forget to drink your water, take your medication, treat yourselves kindly, and I will see you all next time.